What is going on, guys? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Texas Bill Pace, what's up, dog? It's good to see your beautiful face.
Morning.
How are you?
Doing pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. What would make it better?
Being on the
Uh,
Zoom.
being on the Zoom. Woo!
Oh my goodness.
See, the day just got that much better. Oh,
Jordana, you know how to make a gal blush.
I know. I try.
I know. Oh, I love it. Well, welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Harry Schwartz, welcome, brother. Dr. Tammy, it was good, so good to see you. All right, guys, I'm just getting set up here. Hope everybody is having a wonderful, wonderful Thursday so far, and has been an eventful week for me, to say the least. Man, we're going to talk about like accountability part 2 today. And this will probably be one of the most important Zooms for everybody that I've done in a long time. I mean, I like to think they're all pretty vital. You guys get a lot of really great information from all of them. But there are two things that your accountability group is tonight. Oh, that's perfect. This is going to be so perfect then. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Well, you need to get your accountability group in here. Tammy, that's what you need to do. You need to send them the link and you need to get them in here. That way they can hear it all firsthand as opposed to you trying to relay all this. If they can, if they're able to. If not, then I want you asking some questions or gaining some clarity where you need it so you can relay as much as you can back to them. So today I would like to, man, what is going on with are my settings off? That feels a little bit more right. So coming back from, I almost said Squat Up Summit, coming back from Monterey, for those of you guys that are in Owners Club, one of the things that was tasked with everybody or for everybody was to start an accountability group. Now, I don't know about you guys. Put a one in the chat if you've ever been in an accountability group before. Jordana, I am so convinced that you just have ones already lined up. And as soon as it says, it's almost like regardless of whatever Jesse was going to say, like enter, enter, enter. I freaking love that. So only a handful of you guys have only been in accountability groups. Peter, good to see you, brother. I have been in a handful of accountability groups. For everybody who put a 1 in the chat, how many of those put a 2 in the chat? Jordana's already got 2s lined up. I'm going to put an 8 in the chat. It just creates a good visual. I get to kind of see here for a second where everybody's at. Put a 2 in the chat for anybody who put 1s in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat if those accountability groups kind of fizzled or they were not effective. Pansy, Adriana, good to see you. Okay, cool. March says mine was effective. March, are you still in it then?
No, we kind of like disbanded when I moved. It was like a different accountability at the gym that time. We were accountable and we were really hitting it, and it was working because we were accountable for each other. It was the right people.
That's perfect. I need a group of people like that up here. I keep telling Carlin and Kevin that they need to move to Alaska. If you guys could secretly, I know they're not going to see this, so if you could secretly like just randomly shoot them DMs and be like, "Hey, I heard you're moving to Alaska, man. That's freaking congratulations. That's awesome." Have you even told Jesse yet? Just randomly like stupid shit like that. I think that would be just so funny. Start leaking into their subconscious. I have been in accountability groups and every single one of them. Here's what's happened. There's two things that have happened in the accountability groups that I've ever been part of. Number one is I outgrow them. And that's really hard. You always hear you don't want to be the smartest one in the room, right? We're all familiar with that. It's important and it's hard. It's hard when you start to see yourself, and that's what you want. Like that should almost be the goal. Like there should almost be some kind of competition between everybody to see who can outgrow each other. And that's the kind of friendly competition that you want. I've shared some of the things I'm going to go over with you guys today are some of the things I've shared with the individuals that are coming to Salt Lake next week. Really excited about that. We're going to have a really, really great time. But I think everybody in here would find a lot of value. Grady and I started talking about accountability groups last week. And we said this week we'd do a part 2 to it. So that's interesting. Outgrow your group. Yeah, I think that should be a goal for everybody, is to outgrow your group. Then you have kind of a group environment that is abundant. There is a sense of urgency. People are quick to execute. You want to curate an environment around your accountability group where there is a little bit of that competition, friendly competition. And it makes the biggest difference when you can curate an environment like that. As a matter of fact, you guys have heard me say this before, There are two things that will change your business, change your life, actually, faster than anything else. Number one, and I'll spend a little bit, I'll go down this. Let's take our time real quick. Number one, focus on becoming a world-class leader. So if you've never heard me say that, if you haven't written that down, please write that down. Focus on becoming a world-class leader. Here's some of the things I'm talking about. March and I had the pleasure of getting on a Zoom last night.
Yes.
March is coming to Salt Lake. Super excited to see you. We were talking about some of the things that she has going on. She had a handful of things that she was working on. And I had another wonderful call with somebody named Lisa this morning, who's also coming to Salt Lake. And some of the things that I saw that were commonalities between March and Lisa and a lot of other individuals, including myself at one point. We see everybody kind of doing a lot of things. We see people that are ahead of us. They have and are doing RV parks. They're doing fix and flips. They are doing mobile home parks. They are doing multifamily, single family, pad splits, co-living, Section 8. And we think to ourselves, oh my gosh, that's what I've always been told is I've got to have multiple streams of income. And so that's what I should do. Maybe I should do all of it. Why would I limit myself to just one thing when I could do all of it? Has anybody else ever felt that way? Because that was me for the longest time. I was like, oh, well, I see everybody else doing this. Every time I watch a podcast, somebody mentions the fact that the average millionaire has 7 different streams of income. I guess that's what I should do. And so one of the things we were talking about last night and then again this morning was focusing on becoming a world-class leader. And let me tell you why. And I want you to take some of the things I'm sharing with you about leadership and as it applies to business, some of the things you guys are working on, whether that is in real estate. Maybe some of you guys are looking to buy businesses. Let me share with you something. How many people in here are trying to get their active income coming up? How many in here would love to make more money? Great, perfect. Me too. Write this down. The money that you want to make is directly correlated to the caliber of skill that you bring to the marketplace. That means you have to have a skill set around something. You have to be able to solve some kind of problem. Now, you can't build $1 million business on $10 an hour tasks. How many people are focused on underwriting, becoming a better underwriter? How many people are focused on DTA and getting on the phone with agents and sellers? I used to as well. But what's the result you're after? You're focusing on the process, but you're not focusing on the result. I venture guess most of you guys are in real estate because you want to own property. Yet the things you're working on every single day and the skill sets you are building are $10 an hour tasks. I would never, never, ever. I'm recording it, Larry. I'll send everybody a copy. I would never call another seller or agent for the rest of my life. I would never do that because it's a $10 an hour task. I know how to get the result because my expertise, my skill set, I know leadership. I know how to take an idea and I know how to put the right chess pieces into the right place. And if I want to go buy properties, my first inclination is not ever going to be for the rest of my life. I will never be like, well, if I had to start all over again, I guess I better hit the phones or I better go door knocking. Hell no. Because one, I know how to communicate. I am an excellent communicator. I have worked so stinking hard at becoming an excellent communicator. I would even go as far as to use the word world class. But when we focus on world-class leadership, let's go back and let's break down what I'm talking about right there. World-class leadership. What are some of those things that entail when it comes to becoming a world-class leader? Well, you've got to be able to cast a vision. You got to be able to come up with something very, very specific and have a mission behind it. You've got to be able to communicate and articulate what the values are, the people that you're serving, why that's important, the impact that we want to have on the world. And then you've got to find people who want to come along for the ride. So if you want to bring people along for the ride, if I want to go buy properties as an example, I'm going to go find a very specific set of individuals to work with. Talent acquisition, my friends, is a skill. Why would I go spend time underwriting properties or underwriting businesses or cold calling if my talent is I can go find those individuals? Now, it's not enough just to go find those individuals. And I'm going to draw some parallels here between leadership, world-class leadership, some of the things I'm describing, the skill set around this, and how you guys should be thinking about your accountability groups. So just like you need to go find people to join your team, you want to make sure you've got the right people in place, people who have the right attitude, the right mindset, people that are willing to listen and not talk over you, people who are willing to learn, people who are quick to execute, people who are not only okay, but want to be held accountable. Here are some traits and characteristics that I'm outlining that whether you're building a team or whether you're building an accountability group, these are some of the things that you're looking for. Emotional intelligence. My goodness. I hired Dan Martell as a coach, and he told me one time the biggest difference between millionaires and billionaires is millionaires build systems and processes, but billionaires build people. As a matter of fact, when they analyzed, I don't remember what the exact number of the study was, but there was a big commonality they found amongst all these billionaires. And it wasn't IQ. It was EQ. It was emotional intelligence. So when you exercise a high level of emotional intelligence, this is why they say your personal income will never surpass your own self-development. Because if you don't know how to handle, find, and manage people, you will always be the bottleneck in your business. Always. Forever and always. So when I bring people into my accountability group, or I bring people into my business, I ask them, I say, hey, what made you reach out? What made you want to be part of this accountability group? Why was this important to you? What are some of the ways in which you're wanting to grow? What are you wanting to take away? In what ways do you think you can contribute? I would interview somebody in an accountability group just like I would interview somebody coming onto my team. And instead of me saying, oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you so much for joining my team. I'm going to do this, and this. I flip it. I ask them, I'm interviewing them. I'm Michael Jordan. Why do you want to be on my team? And I want you guys to think of yourselves the same way. You, each and every one of you. You guys are Michael Jordan. Why does somebody else deserve to come and play on your team? How would you qualify and disqualify somebody? And when you take that perspective, and when you have that paradigm shift, it becomes so much easier to get things done. Somebody tells you, I want to come in and underwrite for your business because this is my skill sets. This is what I bring to the team. This is the way that I want to grow. This is what I'm seeing from you and your company. This is what I see as a commonality in your character. You have integrity. You love on people. You are trustworthy. You have character and empathy. And I need to be around that because this is how I will grow individually. And by me coming and contributing to your business, your accountability group, or whatever it is, this is how I see me growing personally and professionally. And then this is where I can contribute and help grow the accountability group, help grow the business to meet these milestones. So because I know how to interview somebody, I know how to disqualify somebody, because I have taken enough time to exercise a skill around understanding people and exercising a high level of emotional intelligence, I make sure that I get the right people. I don't bring people in out of scarcity, and I don't bring people in out of convenience. So anybody who's looking to put together an accountability group, sometimes it may be put together out of scarcity and convenience. And if it is, that's okay. But take some of the things I'm going to give you guys today and see what you can do to implement it. And then from there, you'll start to find out who in that group is serious, who wants to grow, and who needs to leave. But if you can find the right people, I promise you that that will become the most important thing in your life. I just started my own accountability group with a handful of other Owners Club members. And this will be the thing that 10X is my business. Because just like all of you guys, I'm human too. We're all human. There are days when we fudge up and we're not consistent and we don't do the thing that we know we should. We give ourselves an excuse. I'm busy. I'm tired. I had this thing come up. And I want to show you guys how to flip it, how I've structured my accountability groups. And hopefully this not only gives you guys clarity into how you guys could be and should be structuring your accountability groups. And by the way, what I'm going to show you guys is something that I put together. I've never seen anybody do this. I've never heard of anybody doing this. But when I presented this to my accountability group, they were all like, oh my gosh, like I absolutely love this. This was the thing that I really, really needed. So I just want to shed some light before we get into that on leadership, because whether you're putting an accountability group together or you're building your business, these are the skills that matter, guys. These are the skills that matter. This is how you start building a business. But if you're wholesaling and you are lending and you are bird dogging and you want to do a buy and hold and you're fixing and flipping, most people don't understand what processes go into building out a business, especially if you want to build a 7-figure business. So I always tell people you need to focus on one thing and you need to become world-class at that one thing. Like that one thing, you don't know what you don't know. So all these millionaires who have 7 different diversifications in their income, they didn't get there by starting out with juggling 7 different things at once. You focus on one thing and you build that thing up to where you hit 7 figures. As soon as you hit 7 figures, now you've become that person. You know how to hire the right people. You know how to put systems and processes in place. You know how to put accountability in place. You know how to put structure in place so that these people can come in and they can start running and building the business without you. How many people would love to buy properties that their team says, oh, hey, Jordana, we just bought another property. And you're like, holy shit, this whole thing happened without my say. This is awesome. They underwrote it. They reached out to the lenders that I built relationships with. They contacted the contractors. They got the bids. They set up servicing. They communicated with the transaction coordination company. They communicated everything with the title company. Pretty awesome, right? That would be pretty freaking cool. Well, you can't do that if you're working on $10 an hour tasks. So focusing on becoming a world-class leader, that's one of the things that will change your life, your business. You make that your primary focus. Drop everything else. Drop everything else. Despite what you see on Facebook, you've got to become, do you know, to become a millionaire, to be in the top, to be in the 1% of income earners, 1%, that means 99, you're ahead of 99% of other people. That means that you are 1 out of 100 people. Top 1% of income, that line in the sand is somewhere between $600,000 and $700,000 on a national average. So to be a millionaire, guys, to make 7 figures, you're not 1 out of 100. You're like more like 1 out of 300 people. I want you to visualize, like close your eyes for a second, visualize everybody you see on Facebook, everybody you see on Instagram, everybody that you go to, that you meet at a meetup or a meeting. There's 299 other people there that are doing things a certain way. And you have to look 299 other people in the eye and be like, nope, 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 nope. You have to have a skill set, a mindset, a strategy, a character above 299 other people. And that's what's hard, because you're going to seem like you are the odd man out, because nobody else you see is doing things the way that you're doing it. Nobody else is acting in the way that you are acting. Nobody else is consistent or focusing on the things that you're focusing on. Believe me. To this day, I tell everybody, drop what you're doing, stop wholesaling. You need to start raising capital. How different would your guys' life be if you had $1 million worth of capital right now? Whether you are buying businesses or buying properties, if you had access to $1 million, what would the next 90 days look like for you? Then why in the flying freak Would anybody be like, oh, Jesse, I need a wholesale. I'm going to spend my day today underwriting properties. Like, in what world does that make sense? You know why? Because you got 299 other freaking people that are telling you that you don't have any prospects, you don't have enough experience. And I get people that tell me that all the time. Well, Jesse, I'm not at that level. I can't. Great. As a matter of fact, if you're brand new, this is perfect because we don't have to undo a bunch of shitty habits that you have because you focused on all these other things. We get to start from ground one. How amazing is that? You've got to be 1 out of 300 people. And the way that you do that, my friends, is by focusing on world-class leadership. Number 2, and this ties into what I want to go into. Here we are, 28 minutes into this. This is what I want to go into now. Number 2 is changing your environment. If you do these 2 things, I promise you, your life and your business will be much, much different. Change your environment. Be around other people that are doing what you want to be doing, that are aspiring to be that 1 out of 300 people. And do not accept anything less. I made a post, I think it was last week. I think it was over the 4th of July weekend. Let me go read it to you guys. I think you guys will appreciate this. As I'm reading this, I'm kind of explaining some things. I want you to take notes on whatever comes to mind. Here it is. So Bill Fisher is one guy. I don't know if you guys know who Bill Fisher is. Awesome and amazing, wonderful individual. He reached out to me over 4th of July weekend. And he said, basically, Jesse, I need some extreme accountability. And I'm like, dude, you know what? I do too. It's time to level up. And we agreed that if we didn't do what we said we were going to do, we would pay the other person $500 a week. Some of you guys might pucker at that. You know what? I would have a little bit, a while ago too, like, oh, $500 a week. I don't know if I can do that, man. But let me give you a little bit more context, and I'm going to dive into this. So please take some very, very serious notes on this. Before I unfold this, I want to read my post. It says, Bill Fisher and I are locking in an accountability pact. $500 a week on the line if we don't follow through. It's less about the money and more about doing what we say we're going to do. 0 excuses and no negotiation. We are creating a container through this pact where pressure creates the progress. If you're an owners club member and want in on this level of accountability, DM me. It's all about creating systems where success becomes inevitable. If you completely ignored your goals and focused only on your system, would you still succeed? Now let me unpack a little bit of this here for a second. I want to go back to what I said here. It's all about creating systems where success becomes inevitable. Let's talk about that. How many people was like $500 a week? Holy shit, that's a lot of money on the line. You know what? I did too, guys. I did too. Like, I got my hand up. I did too. I'm like, holy shit, I've never done this level of accountability. Like, that's woo. Man, that's a good business model for somebody if their accountability partner is really crappy. I mean, that's a good ROI, guys. You self-sabotage your own accountability partner. I mean, you got an extra $2,000 a month. That's sushi money right there. That's good stuff. Let me talk a little bit about creating the systems around that where success becomes inevitable. Now, before I do that, the reason that I shared that, again, I had a call to action in there. I said, hey, if there's any other Owners Club members that want in on this, DM me. You know how many people DM'd me?
None.
Two.
Two.
Two people. Two people DM'd me and said, hey, I saw your post. I want in on this. Now let me go back here and let me read this. Let me read this to you. Here it is. So a couple days after that, this is the next post I read. And this is what I want you guys to take away from it. This is why I made the post. It wasn't about a, hey, look at me. Hey, look what we're doing. It had nothing to do with that. Remember what I said? You guys focus on becoming a world-class leader and build your skill set around emotional intelligence. I made that post not to say, hey guys, look at me. I made that post, guys, to disqualify everybody else. I made that post to disqualify everybody else from reaching out to me who is not up for that level of accountability. So here's what I said a couple days later. I made a post earlier this week. It wasn't anything crazy, I don't think. Just a few thoughts around growth, performance, and extreme ownership. I had a friend reach out who was talking about being held accountable at an extreme level. I'm all about that because I need to level up too. But what happened next is what I really want to talk about. So I made a post about it and invited everyone else to join us. I'm building an accountability group. 5 people get to be in on this. That's it. But not just any 5 people. I've already been there and done that. Remember, you become the average of the things you tolerate. You tolerate somebody not performing or up to the standard in your business, guess what? You become the average of that. Same with your accountability group. You get people that come in that are not performing, that are not doing the thing, that are not being held at a standard. Guess what? You become the average of that person. I will no longer tolerate being around people who refuse to operate at my level. You either level up with me or I'm leaving you behind. I want to share something with you guys because I think when you, from my perspective, whenever I see somebody else ahead of me and they say things like that, it's like, oh, hey, I'm leveling up. Like you either get on my shit or I'm leaving you behind. Like I automatically put that person as somebody that's already kind of done the thing. And so I just want to take a second and share with you as I'm sharing all of this with you guys that this is me leveling up. This is me declaring to everybody else. And this is part of my accountability. I get to I just want you to see this in real time. A lot of times when you get feedback from mentors or coaches or whatever, you never know what they're currently going through or how they leveled up or things that they did. Like what were those tactical or very specific instances where they leveled up or made jumps? And so because I never had that, I'm really cognizant of those things. Those are things I never had. So whenever I get the opportunity to share those things in real time, I want to make sure that I do. So you guys get to see this in real time. Like I've never had an accountability group like this. I've never been held accountable to this level before. And I'm at a place where I'm tolerating less and less and less and less. As a matter of fact, part of my goals every single year, when I go write new goals at the end of the year for the new year, every single year for the last 3 years, I've written, I'm going to limit the amount of shit that I tolerate because I know that I become an average of what I'm willing to tolerate. So I just wanted to pause and just add that little sidebar right here so you guys can see, oh, wow, okay, I see what Jesse's doing. I can take notes on this. I can replicate this. I can, make these jumps myself. So these 5 are all from Owners Club, and they're all high-level thinkers. But here's the kicker. Each of us has $500 a week on the line. Miss a commitment, boom, $500 gone. There's absolutely zero excuses and no do-overs. And guess how many people reached out about it? Almost none. Like I told you guys, 2 people. Want to know why? Write this down, just so you have something to reflect on or look at. You want to know why? Because most people are more afraid of losing $500 than they are excited about making 7 figures. Let me repeat that again. Most people are more afraid of losing $500 than they are excited about making 7 figures. And that's who I don't want to be around. That's who I don't want in my accountability group. That's the kind of mindset that keeps people stuck. That's what keeps people freaking broke. That's what keeps people alone and struggling, frustrated, and watching everybody else win from the freaking sidelines. I know what that feels like. It's shitty as hell. You can't want success and simultaneously be allergic to the pressure that comes with it. You can't say you're serious about leveling up and you want to do all this and then run from any consequence. So I just want to set that expectation real quick. I made that post to disqualify everybody else who's ever thought about or wanted to reach out about being in an accountability group. So I disqualified everybody who saw that post, whether they interacted it or not. They read that post. I disqualified everybody to make sure that I only had people in here right off the get-go that were willing to step up and to be held accountable to that level. Now, let's talk about the systems and processes that make our success inevitable. Somebody come off mute real quick. I'm going to share my screen on my iPad while I'm pulling this up real quick. Somebody come off mute just real quick. Share, what does that mean to you guys? When I say creating a system where success becomes inevitable, what does that mean to you when you hear that, when you think about that?
It just, you can't fail, Jesse. It's inevitable. You can't fail. You set yourself up in a way that it's not an option.
Yes. Yeah.
Rinse
You
and
hit the nail
repeat.
on the head. It's good to see you, Jeremiah, by the way, dude. You're looking good. I love that shirt.
Thank you, man. I was just talking about you today with TJ. I understand you might be coming to our backyard at some point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Him and I had a great conversation last week. I'm excited.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited to see you, brother.
I'll be there.
All right. Jeremiah is right. He hit the nail on the head. So one of the things that Bill was concerned about, he said, Jesse, one of the things that I'm worried about is that I'll be doing a lot of traveling. And I don't want to let the group down. I certainly don't want to let myself down. And I can't afford $500 a month with all the shit that I got going on. And so I said, let me kind of explain a little bit how your accountability group needs to be ran. So I want you guys to draw this. Now for me, these X's represent people. Ron, you hit the nail on the head, dude. You don't pay the $500 as long as you're doing the things. So let's say that this is me. Let's say that this is Bill. In the past, my accountability groups have been I show up, put a 1 in the chat if what I'm about to describe. Jordana, hold on, Jordana. Don't put a 1 in the chat yet. Let me finish my sentence. Put a 1 in the chat if what I'm describing my experience has been similar to you. In a previous accountability group, what would happen is if we would have, I'm just throwing out random names here. I already used Bill. And John. Let's say Zeke. And let's say Van Halen. Okay, cool. So let's say we're all in an accountability group. In the past, what would have happened is we all would have met once a week. And Zeke would have been like, hey, Jesse, you said you were going to do this last week. Did you get it done? And then I'm going to be like, yes, or more than likely what's going to happen is I'm going to come up with an excuse. Maybe I got part of it done. Maybe I thought about doing it. Maybe I got started on it. And then Zeke and John and Bill and Van Halen, like everybody's going to be like, all right, cool. Well, how did that make you feel? What can we do to be of support? What do you need going into this week? And the intentions are good. I know everybody's intentions are good with these accountability groups. We want to be a resource and an asset to each other. But then I'm like, hey, you know what, guys? Good ideas. Thank you. Maybe they come up with some ideas. I jot the ideas down, and then they move on to Bill. And then they move on to John, and then Zeke, and then et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Is that everybody's kind of experience with accountability groups? It's like, hey, we're going to meet. Hey, what did you do? What were some wins? What were some good things that happened? What are you focused on this week? Where can we help? All right, cool. Well, let's meet later. Let's have a good week, guys. And then that's literally the entire meeting, basically. And then eventually, like, nobody gets anywhere. Nobody's held accountable. There's no structure. There's nothing. And then it just fizzles out. And literally nobody is better off. Bingo. Okay, cool. All right. Let me give you guys a reset here. I want to shift your paradigm a little bit on how you guys are seeing this. There's a couple things you want to be cognizant of when it comes to having an accountability group, but the biggest thing right here, actually we'll say service. That's supposed to say service for those of you guys that can't read Jesse. That says service. So up until now, any accountability group, and it sounds like a couple of you guys share the same experience, your intent of your accountability group has been to serve nobody else except you. I'm showing up this accountability group to serve myself. I have to do the things that I say I'm going to do. Some people throw some ideas out, and then I'm just kind of left trying to put these puzzle pieces together throughout the week. I want you guys to draw this. These are supposed to be arrows, by the way. The way that I am structuring my accountability group is I'm not doing this for me. My role in my accountability group is to serve Bill. For those of you guys that have a W-2, let's say you got to start out at 7 in the morning. In 15 years of being in the Air Force, I was never late for work, not even one time. I was up early enough. I did what I needed to do. Work started at 7. I was there at 06:30. I was ready to rock and roll. When we have to show up for somebody else, it is easy as hell. We don't want to let anybody down. We don't want to deal with the repercussions of letting somebody else down. When it comes to showing up for ourselves, it's a lot easier to let ourselves down. That's a lot easier to negotiate with ourselves. It's a lot easier to justify with emotion. We care about other people, I think, in a maybe even a subconscious level, more than we care about ourselves. If I can be vulnerable with you guys for a second, I've been in some pretty dark places. I've had thoughts of suicide. And the only reason why I didn't was because of what it would have done to everybody else. The only reason that I continue to show up is not for me, but it's for everybody else. And when we can serve each other in a way, we serve ourselves. When you help other people get what they want, you get what you want. So as an example, we're talking about building systems here. So let's say Bill, just as an example. As you guys know, if you guys have been following me long enough, if you want to go buy a property, there's only 2 things that you need. Money and a deal. That's it. You don't need literally nothing else. You don't need a CRM. You don't need a list. You don't need a skip trace. Like none of that shit. High level stuff, right? Focus on becoming a world-class leader. This is it. This is all you freaking need. So if you want deals coming into you, let's say just as an example, Bill's task for this week was connecting with 30 wholesalers. So he can start getting deals sent to him. If Bill is traveling in a typical accountability group, he would be left to his own device. He'd be left to be like, all right, I told the group I was going to connect with 30, but I'm traveling. I've got a pack. I've got some other stuff I've got to do before I leave. You know, I might make an effort. And then next week we talked to Bill. And none of this has happened, by the way. I'm just giving you guys an example. We just had our first accountability group this week. So let's say Bill only reaches out to like one or two because in his head, he was like, oh, that's all I could do. But this new format, this new structure that I'm giving you guys that is set up how I structure mine, my priority is Bill. My entire role in this accountability group is to serve Bill. So if I'm reaching out to Bill and I say, hey, Bill, what are we going to do to make sure that you hit 30? Where can I be of service? Do you need help with marketing? Do we need to put out some Facebook content together? Do we need to put out some Instagram content together? That is something I can help you with. Now, by me doing that stuff, if I was to run a Zoom with Bill and help him get wholesalers onto that Zoom, is that going to help me? Yes or yes? Hell yeah, it is. Did I create a system where Bill has the support that he needs and the system in place to make sure that he meets this KPI? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So now because I'm serving Bill, Bill's like, hey, Jesse, I'm traveling this week. Then I get to sit down with Bill now and be like, all right, Bill, what days are you traveling this week? How long are you going to be gone? What day are you leaving? How much time do we have between now and then? Okay, cool. So we have some time here. What if we were to wake up an hour and a half early on Wednesday? And in that hour and a half, we can probably knock out or reach out to 20 or 25 wholesalers. We'll shoot them a DM. We'll send them a voice message. We will send them a personalized video, whatever it is. And then Bill's like, yeah, that sounds good. Perfect. Let's do that. So in one day, we've knocked out the majority of it. And then I help set time aside for Bill with the other half of the day or the next day or whenever it is to reach out. Or if he says, hey, I can do it on the plane because they got Wi-Fi. Perfect. My job, my role in this accountability group is to make sure that Bill hits those KPIs. Now it comes back to what I just got done telling you guys. If you dropped all of your goals and only focused on your systems, would you still be successful? Hell yes, you would. If Bill had 0 goals around buying properties and consistently he was reaching out to 30 wholesalers a week, he was doing it by sending DMs, he was running Zooms, he was putting out content, he was engaging. If he does this and we create a system around this where I can help him with all of this, does everything that he wants now happen as a byproduct? Does his success now become inevitable? Fuck yes, it does. Is he building visibility? Yep. Is that going to open him or give him the opportunity to bring other people onto his team? Yep, it sure does. Because people know who the hell he is. People are aware and know what he's doing. People can now reach out. Bill has now positioned himself. He's no longer a tugboat. He's a lighthouse. Now, not only is this system inevitable, but do you guys see now how Bill, where he thought that because he was traveling, he was going to be losing $500, now all of a sudden he's not? Now the same thing. Bill serves John, John serves Zeke, Zeke serves Van Halen. And Edward Van Halen gets to serve me. That is your role. So one, your accountability group needs to be centered around service. Not just simply coming together once a week and being like, oh, I thought I was going to do this. No. You show up for somebody else and somebody else shows up for you. Now look at this, guys. Look at this. Most people didn't reach out to my post because they were like, "Oh my gosh, I can't lose $500." But look at the support around this. Look at the structure that I've created around my accountability group that you literally can't lose. That's going to cause Bill to take more action. Bill's going to cause John to take more action. John's going to have Zeke take more action. Now, ultimately, it's up to Bill to make sure this gets done. It's not on me if Bill doesn't do it. He still has to be held accountable. But as long as you do what you say you're going to do, as long as you have some sort of structure and support around your accountability group like this, you literally cannot lose. How much further ahead would everybody be by being in an environment like this? This is why my accountability meetings now have become the number one most important Zoom of the entire week. Nothing else matters to an extent. What you guys should be approaching your group with is two things. What is one thing that you want to achieve over the next 90 days? What is your personal goal? What is your next milestone? And stretch it. What's something that's going to stretch you? How many of you guys want active income coming in? I think the majority of you guys, if not all you guys, raise your hand at that. So what skill set are you working on? What KPIs, as an example, are you going to set and say, hey, this is what I need to do every day. This is what my weekly goal needs to look like to help me build the skill set around the money I want to make. So what is your personal goal? And then what is one group goal that you guys can achieve together? And both of these are going to be 90-day goals. Now, let me be super clear here. When I say group goal, I'm not saying everybody has to go buy a property together or anything like that. What is one common thing that all you guys could be or should be working on? All right. I'm going to open this up for a little bit of Q&A real quick. Was this helpful for everybody?
So helpful. You're only giving us two?
For now.
All right.
I got to wrap this up here. I got a meeting of my own here shortly.
Well, thank you for this.
Yeah, you're welcome. You are welcome. If you guys structure like this, if you guys get the right people into your accountability group and you structure it like this, you will create a system. There is something very tactful Okay, people talk about do something till it's inevitable, do something till but they don't ever give any specifics. Most people talk in such a generalized way where it's like, okay, I get it, I hear it, you know, but how do I actually do it? How do I actually what is the breakdown of this? How does all this work? I just gave you a very, very specific, detailed example. This has been the best structure that I have experienced when it comes to accountability groups and creating real momentum. I think this will be the reason that my group, out of the 500 people in Owners Club, will far and away surpass and have more growth than anybody else. And I want the same thing for all of you. Matter of fact, there should be a little bit of friendly competition going on. No, I'm going to surpass Jesse. All right, fam. That is what I wanted to give you guys today. I hope it was helpful. I hope you guys got some amazing ideas from it. I hope you got something tactical and tangible that you can walk away with. Now it's up to you to just take the idea. How fast can you go from idea to execution now? How many of you guys are going to sit on it, think about it, try to have the perfect plan versus just going and doing it? If you're up for it, I would invite you guys, go make a post. Go do what I did. Go make a post and come up with some sort of, guess you'd call it repercussion. Go declare it to everybody else. Hey, this is what I'm doing. Who's wanting to do this? This is the repercussion. Again, everybody else thought that I put five. I already know. The majority of the people who read that post was probably under the assumption that I put $500 a week on there as probably some kind of, oh, Jesse's doing something high level. It wasn't any of that at all. It was literally to disqualify everybody else who didn't want to be on my level, so I could find the right people. It was about getting the no's so I could find those 2 freaking yeses. So for everybody going to Salt Lake, we're going to get a little bit deeper into this. We're going to have a lot of fun. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody need clarity on anything? Now is your time.
How can you have 2 most important Zooms in the same week?
Peter, you walked me into that one, didn't you?
I'm not sure you said most important. Maybe you said the other one was, I don't know, the most
my favorite.
fun. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's through that accountability group that I get to have Zooms like that other one. Good question, Peter. Anybody else? Cool. All right. I look forward to seeing everybody. Oh, we won't be on next week, guys, because we have our Salt Lake City event going, or Salt Lake event going on next week. So if you guys haven't gotten your ticket yet, or you want some tickets, let me know. I will hook you guys up. We are doing a BOGO right now for all general admission. So general admission ticket is $697. You get a BOGO, you buy one, you get one. I mean, $350. And we got some people who have spent $2,500 on VIP. And so I want to show you guys, whether you spend $2,500 or $350 is all. I wanted to show you guys the value that we're bringing at this is like what we're doing right now, but we get to do this for 3 freaking days. It is, I promise you, it is worth 10 times more. And if you don't think that it was worth 10 times more, then you just let me know. I will refund your freaking ticket. Jesse, you overhyped this. You underdelivered. I just want my ticket. Refund me. I'll be like, great. No questions asked.
Yeah, you have this for me. Oh, thank
You can't afford to not be here. You can't afford to not be here. I promise you. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say this before I get off. In my life, I have never found anybody who wants me to succeed as much as they want to succeed. Never happened. To this day, I've never found anybody that's like, hey, Jesse, come on, man. Like, let me go audit your business. Like, let me fucking help you. Like, let me go. I've never had anybody do that. Never had anybody go out of their way. So a big part of what I do and the way I work and the way that I serve is putting myself in a position of being the resource that I would have needed or the resource that I still freaking need. I've coached hundreds of people. I have been around just thousands of people, and I've never found one person. I know, believe me, this isn't me tooting my own horn here. I'm not putting myself on a pedestal. I'm no better than anybody else. All I'm trying to share with you guys is when you find somebody who wants you to fucking win as much as you want you to win, you do not let them go. You get around that community. It's not something to be taken lightly because odds are you will never find it again. I'm opening this invitation for anybody who hasn't gotten to Salt Lake or wants to. I will do anything and everything I can to make sure that you can get there. You can see in one Zoom how fast things can change. Being around people, building these relationships, this whole game of business and entrepreneurship, it's a relationship game. Adriana, I appreciate that. I promise you. Thank you guys. Thank you. I really appreciate the feedback. Thank you. This wasn't to toot my own horn. I am no better than anybody else. I've tried my best just to curate an environment that I would have freaking needed. And I hope that you guys feel that. And I hope that you receive that. I love each and every one of you. And there is nothing that I wouldn't do for each and every one of you.
Thanks, Jesse.
You're welcome, brother. I love you guys.
Hey, even if I could, somebody gave me a ticket, I couldn't get there. I had to get my ID expired on my birthday, June 19th. So I went and tried getting a new driver's license yesterday. They said, well, they're going to mail it to me. So I don't have the gold star to travel.
The
No worries, brother.
paper works. The paper.
Does it?
Yes, I just flew with the paper one.
Yeah, I used it to go to Monterey as well because I did the same thing.
What, you gonna miss the fly fishing trip for Owners Club?
Yep.
You didn't know that was when you were planning that out.
I didn't, but this is I live in Alaska, man. I go fishing every day.
Right.
Like, I would much rather be able to sit down with you guys and go through your guys' business with you. That's what I love to do. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with you guys winning. These Thursday Zooms, I don't just hop on and then just free ball it. Like, I'm actually prepping. I'm thinking about throughout the week, like, what do these guys need on Thursday? What kind of support do they freaking need? What should I go over? What would be really beneficial to them? What can I give them that's actually tangible that they can actually walk away with? And it wasn't me just spouting random shit off for an hour. I take time away from my business and my family to prep for these types of things. So I hope that you guys find them beneficial.
Thank you.
I hope they're valuable. I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. If you don't have your ticket, if you want to go split it with somebody else, I will find somebody else. I will help you find somebody else to split a BOGO ticket with you. Next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the event. Salt Lake City, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 3-day event. Gosh, for $350. You cannot get a better value than that for what we're delivering, for sure. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. If you guys want more information, if you need the link for Salt Lake, shoot me a DM. I will help you any way that I can. If you guys are like, Jesse, I want to make it. I'm short on funds. Like, I will get on a call with you and we will figure something out. I will do everything in my power to help you. I've never had anybody do that for me, and I want to be that for you guys. Love you all. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you guys in Salt Lake next week.